We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They are a street ball team. They remind me of an N1 team, right?
Yeah.
They are street ball fast, park fast, playing in the hood. They are no joke, McNeese.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody.
Well,
They won 27 games as well for a reason.
It's a bracket. You trust the team to make a run. Feels good until it doesn't. And that's didn't feel good for all that long. Kansas.
Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live game day / sports rage continues. The games are coming to an end. Kind of an uneventful, undramatic, anticlimactic night tonight, to be honest, in the NCAA tournament. As a whole today, there were a couple of close endings, but we haven't had like a real buzzer beater besides that first game. And we've had a couple of mild upsets, but nothing shocking. The unders continue to cash. Illinois just went under, and I had 162, Cam, and finishes at 159, and it was just luck of the draw. Illinois ended up with the ball last, and so Illinois had the ball with 30 seconds left, and I don't know why they don't let the kids just shoot, but the kid just walked it up the court, and I mean, it's the only time the kid's going to play. Give him a chance to actually take a shot. I don't know if anyone was watching the end of the Duke game today, too. This Hubbard dude on Duke. He's literally, I don't know, like it looked like someone like snuck onto the court, man. He's like literally half the size of people. Like another dude stepped in front of him. Another dude stepped in front of him today, and like he got blocked out by like the shot on TV. The kid was so small. One of these dudes,
like
Cam,
Duke
like
Rudy.
he is Duke's Rudy. He's a walk-on. He's like, I don't know. He looks like he's like 5'10", 5'8", or something, 5'6". He's a little Rudy kid. And he's a walk-on, and they gave him a scholarship. He could ball, though. Like, he came in, he was making, like, sideways, behind-the-back passes. And, like, everyone was oohing and awing, and he did score. So, like, that's Duke. And they were like, yeah, try to score, kid. And he did. He took a 3. He scored a 2. He scored. I hate it when they put the kids in and they tell him don't shoot after. Let the kid shoot. He practices every day with you. Let the kid shoot. Rudy was on the other night on TV, actually. Not a terrible movie, to be honest. It's not really true, but it's not a terrible movie.
My best story is when you said when Joe Montana's like, that never happened. No. Whatever you said, that was
I don't think Joe likes Rudy. I don't think he's like, I don't know. That's just me. I think Joe like doesn't like Rudy making all his money or so. I don't know. Like maybe Joe had a couple. I don't know what Joe's deal was. Why he was like, yeah, he was on the Dan Patrick show. Dan, today you were on the team, right? Rudy was on the team, and Joe was like, "Was he? Yeah, I guess. Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I guess he was." Like, it wasn't like, "Oh, yeah, what a great story." He was like, "Yeah, he was." And he was sort of like, and then Dan could sense it. He goes, "So, what do you remember?" And then Joe just sort of like, he didn't have to say it, Cam. He goes, well, I watched the movie, and he goes, I'll tell you what, no one walked into any office and, like, threatened to quit the team. He goes, that's just, like, that's just ridiculous. Like, he's sort of like, and then he went on to say, he goes, on the part where everyone in the stands are cheering his name and stuff, he goes, I don't remember that happening. Like,
amazing.
But it is like a movie.
That's so awesome. I'm Joe Montana for Guinness.
I don't really remember that happening, but I guess it did. He's like,
that's so good.
And then he goes, I don't know. He goes, maybe a couple of people. He goes, no, there was no big chant and stuff like. But it is a movie. Yeah. Right? It is a movie. It's like Moneyball. They didn't have to make Art Howe a jerk in Moneyball, but they did.
Yeah, that's
right.
You know
like,
that's a crime, though. Like,
because Art Howe wasn't a jerk. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
That's the whole
right?
thing. If you watch that movie, like, he hated, like, he was so mean about everything too. It's like there's no way.
Philip
this
Seymour
guy,
Hoffman. He always had a mean look. He's like, he was like the anti-analytic guy. Like, it was all made up. Like, Art Howe never like argued with Bean and like used to threaten him and this is terrible.
That's not
like,
cool.
It's not true.
That's not cool to me because I don't care if it's a movie. You're thinking Art Howell's a jerk after watching that movie, and it could be the furthest thing from the truth. They're making him out to be some curmudgeon.
Yeah, Art Howe said it. Art Howe said he never got hired again because of that movie.
I agree. You know what? I'm on Art Howe's side for that. I agree 100%.
He said he never got hired because he goes, people saw me in that movie and thought it was real and that I was anti-analytics and like.
What a joke.
That's crazy, too. Poor Art Howe, he was all excited to see the movie. He went with his wife. His wife was all excited that, like, Brad Pitt was in the movie and all that, and he saw it on screen. He was like, oh, my God, like, none of this happened. But that's what they do. Like, that Laker stuff, they did the same thing to Jerry West, where they said that he threw a championship trophy, like, in the Laker movie, the series, which people took as gospel, like it was real, that he threw like one of the championship trophies through the trophy case, that, it was all kinds of made up stuff that never happened. And everybody on the Lakers even said, like, that never happened. Like, that's not true. And like I said at the time, you're making a series on the Lakers and the Showtime Lakers of the Playboy Mansion era in Hollywood in the 80s. You don't need to add something like that. Like, you have enough real wild stories. Like, you know what I mean? You don't need to add some like, let's make Jerry West out to be racist and a jerk, and he doesn't want to draft. That was the other one. They didn't want to draft Magic Johnson, which also obviously wasn't true. But people, that's why, they're not documentaries. You got to understand that, right? People, they twist this stuff. All right, so unfortunately, like I said, I brought off the top of the program. Now that the games are coming to an end here, we'll get back to, just to bring up the outside world of beside the tournament. But George Foreman has passed away, 76 years old. Somebody that's lived like multiple lives, though. So it felt like he was older than 76, to be honest, because he's been in my life, like he's been around in my entire lifetime. Right, like in the, as a kid growing up in the 70s, he was a big-time boxer, and then he sort of disappeared for a little while, and he became a preacher, and I believe he also has, how many kids does he have named George? He's got, like, a lot of kids named George. Yeah, he didn't get creative with the names, like, everyone's George,
Great pitch, man.
He became a preacher, and then he cashed in. Well, he wasn't a pitch man. That was actually his own grill.
I have
it.
He
made, God, like, let me see how much money he made off of that. He didn't make that much money boxing because he boxed in the 60s, 70s era. Except what's crazy about Foreman is a lot of boxers, guys, will come back or hang around or whatever. They're going to come back, and they should. We talk about it. Like Roy Jones Jr. used to, like, fight people with one hand behind his back and troll you. Now he's fighting like bouncers in Poland, like they work at a strip club. Like, I'm there for $15K, sure. Like, some guys will tarnish it, and it's not, or especially in heavyweights too. Like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul or whatever. George Foreman came back, guys, out of nowhere, and the guy's selling grills and stuff, and he's kind of big. He's huge. He's a massive man, And he came back, and I never forget. I remember the fight like it was yesterday. I think he was 49, 50 years old. He was just turning 50, I think. And he fought Evander Holyfield. And Holyfield was like basically in his prime. And a lot of people thought, oh, that's Foreman. This is going to be a massacre. He's going to get murdered. And like, this shouldn't happen. And Foreman nearly beat him, man. Like, it turned into like it's a great fight. Like, boxing fans know what I'm talking about. It was a great freaking fight. And then Foreman's popularity on the talk show circuit. You know, he's a likable guy, right? Hey, there's George. And then you got the George Foreman Grill, who I got to believe, Cam, he sold like, I don't know, 200 million of something crazy.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like the Led Zeppelin of grills, this guy. Stairway to Heaven. Like, it's the most famous grill out there, the George Foreman Grill.
And it's an old grill, and back then it had everything, you know, like the super surface. You could barbecue and inside and stuff. Like, back in the day, you didn't have like products like that. Like, the George Foreman Grill was a big deal. I remember, like, I got one, and I'm telling you, I still have one. I'm good call, Gabe. I'm going to say like 200 million. That's a lot. What's the over under?
But this is what he made. George Foreman Grill. George Foreman made an estimated $200 million from the George Foreman Grill. Amazing. Including $138 million sale of his name and rights to the grill. And he got $138 million, and he gets 40% of all profits for life.
Amazing.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They are a street ball team. They remind me of an and one team, right?
Yeah.
They are street ball fast, park fast, playing in the hood. They are no joke, McNeese.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. They won 27 games as well for a reason.
It's a bracket. You trust the team to make a run. Feels good until it doesn't. And that's didn't feel good for all that long. Kansas.
Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Michigan State Spartans did pull away from Bryant. They're up by 25 right now with a minute left. So we're laying 17 in this spot, and there's a late three. See, I like it. Like Michigan State, they're putting their bench in, and the kids are bombing threes, and everybody on the bench is standing. All the starters are like encouraging them to score. The kid scores. All right. Look at the Michigan State bench. I don't even like these kids, and I like this moment. I got nothing against the kids, just the jersey. But thanks for covering for me tonight. Well, I like seeing these guys get in here and get in the box score and stuff for all their work that they do during the season. But yeah, Michigan State are about to win. It's 87-62 with 35 seconds left in this game.
I know. So, as a Michigan guy, what's your level of hate, Sparty versus Brutus?
It's complicated in a weird way.
Like relationships? It's complicated stuff.
Yeah,
I think you hate Ohio State.
Put it this way, part of me,
for them.
Part of me doesn't like Michigan State more. Like, put it this way, and I'm buddies with not real life buddies, but online buddies, whatever, with Jumbo Elliott. I don't know if you remember Jumbo Elliott, offensive lineman with the New York Giants. Won a Super Bowl I think he won 2 Super Bowls actually. He's on both. I think he was on both. He's on the first one. Anyways, he beat my Bills in the Super Bowl, and he was also a Michigan Wolverine. Badass, one of the greatest college linemen ever. Remember Michigan, Jumbo Elliott. And then he was a first round draft pick, won the Super Bowl, and I don't know. Did he? I think he won one. Anyways, I asked him. I asked Jumbo Elliott I asked him about when it was Michigan State week, and I said to him, I find that it's like too many fans don't realize that we hate Michigan State as much as Ohio State, if not more. And Jumbo Elliott said agreed, and he sent me back a GIF, Cam, of some dumpster fire loser dude on fire type stuff, and he goes, that's what I think of Sparty. There's a sort of a dislike there, but at the same point in time, Cam, there's sort of that state of Michigan thing, and like I always say, too, you're only as good as your rivals are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, over the years, it's more of a, long story short, it's more of a spirited, Ohio State is just all-out hate and stuff. They're obsessed with Michigan. I don't want to say, guys on Michigan and Michigan State know each other and stuff, so it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? So I guess I'll say Ohio State are higher on the list. I've eased up on Michigan State a little bit. I used to really, really, really not like them, a lot. So much so I was in the hotel. I was at the airport in Detroit, and I was stuck there. I had it was snowing and stuff, so I was there for hours, and there was playoff games going on, NFL playoffs, and there was a Spartan bar, Cam. Everything was Michigan State. There was pictures of Magic Johnson, Kirk Gibson. It was all green. It was a Michigan State bar, in the damn airport type of deal. And I was like, nah. You know what I mean? I was like, and then I asked, I said, where's the Michigan one? And they told me, it's way on the other side. And I was with this dude I just met. We were getting hammered betting on the games. I told him I refuse to get a drink in this place. He goes, they don't actually own it. He goes, just an airport bar. I'm like, doesn't matter. I'm like, doesn't matter. You know what's crazy though, Cam? I love Kirk Gibson, one of my favorite players of all time. He hit one of the biggest home runs in Dodger history, and big Kirk Gibson fan. And I love Magic Johnson, one of my favorite players of all time. So it is what it is. Yeah. It's more of a friendly rivalry. Ohio State is just more of a screw them,
Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot of guys. I meet people from Michigan State when we're in Vegas. I always find they're really cool dudes. I have some of my nights in Vegas. I don't know. I got no issue with Sparty. And my buddy played hockey at Michigan
they party
State
hard
too.
and stuff. Yeah.
So yeah. They're good partiers. So it's East Lansing's. They like to throw
Michigan
down.
State fans are less uptight than Michigan fans are. If we want to get into reality,
yes.
You know what I mean? There's
yes.
I told you, my attorney, Carl Miles, went to Michigan State. And I told him, point blank. I looked in his office. I saw Michigan State on the wall and Canisius. I said, where are you? He goes, yeah, I got my degree at Canisius in Michigan State.
What a two-school parlay. Canisius, the Griffs. Wow.
I was thinking of all the lawyers that I end up with a Michigan State Canisius guy. Law degree from Canisius and Michigan State.
That's the best out of all the schools.
This is better than Arizona State, like Tony Finn.
Hey, we'll cut Tony some slack. He's had a lot of things going on in his life,
He always does, though. That's the thing. And I understand. Whatever. He's lurking. He's sort of like if you want to say like a green room, like he's in the parking lot of like I don't know. He's in the area. He's in the building. That's the best way. Like
he's kind of like the snake that's like under the rock.
Yeah,
just like,
be like, wow, he's in a
out.
building somewhere, but we don't really know where he is anymore. Like he's sort of around. Like.
He's hiding in a cave. Yeah, Tony.
I've said this before. I got to set it up and just give Tony like an hour in advance because like whatever time we tell him, it'll take like there'll be like a half-hour production, and then but it comes with the territory. That's why we call it the Friday Night Freak Show.
Mrs. Finn is very efficient. She sent us a nice note about Tony and stuff like that. She's obviously she's on top of things. Nice lady.
Yeah, he is not. He is not. All right, so Tony Finn with us.
The damn first lady.
First lady of Area 51. What's up, Tony? How you doing?
Hey, Tony.
Good stuff, guys. I'm glad I can entertain even without even being here. It's good stuff. Pays
better
extra.
late, yeah, better late than never. But this game right now, we got the last game of the night is coming to an end right now. Yeah. And so frustrating that this game is going to go under the number. And it wasn't a fault of the Oregon Ducks. The Ducks have hung 7-8 on the board and have been walking the ball up the court for the entire second half because they've been up by so much. And Liberty, let's see, I was going to give you a final score, 78-49 right now. But it looks like the Ducks want more with their last possession. Yeah, they're taking a three. And they hit a three.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They are a street ball team. They remind me of an N1 team, right?
Yeah.
They are street ball fast, park fast, playing in the hood. They are no joke, McNeese.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. They won 27 games as well for a reason.
It's a bracket. You trust the team to make a run. Feels good until it doesn't. And that's didn't feel good for all that long with Kansas.
Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that room. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I am Gabriel Morency. We're throwing it down here. We got Tony Finn steps up and in and joins us. Cam Stewart in the house. Like I said, Liberty has come to an end here. They get absolutely smashed this evening by the Oregon Ducks. So the night comes to a close this evening. No turning back. It is what it is. On to Saturday's games. McNeese State and Purdue are up first. So you know what? At first, I saw the student manager kid, Amir Khan, for McNeese State, and his walkouts and all that, and it was all right. But now, whatever, it's pretty ridiculous that he's got an NIL deal with Shedeur Sanders' his watch company, and now Topps is making cards of the student manager. It's a little over the top, but they pulled off the first upset, Tony, against Clemson. Purdue are better than Clemson are, but the thing with Purdue is they're kind of a two-man team, right? I mean, they got two dudes that are effective on offense with Kaufman Wren and Braden Smith. So it's a two-man operation. Either Smith scores or he passes it to Kaufman Wren and he kicks it back and forth. It's like a two-man game. But, you know, people criticize Matt Painter, but they are a well-coached team. They're a solid, fundamental team, Purdue. What do you think about McNeese State and Purdue? Any interest in betting on this game?
Well, I'm not. I tell you what, if I'm going to be in this room, I'm going to be on Purdue. Purdue, if you look back, they did a little better job late in the season, late in the conference schedule, defending the paint. But for the most part, you know, Painter thought he was going to have plenty of meat inside to kind of replace the 7'4" big All-American last year. But they didn't do a very good job of defending the paint. They're soft at the rim. And I think this is a pretty good matchup for Purdue. McNeese State is good. They're well coached. They are confident. They're coming in here, and there's always going to be a Cinderella, maybe two, maybe three Cinderellas. Right now, they're the Cinderella, but I like Purdue minus the 6. At least that's what the line I saw. Last line I saw.
All right. I can't really argue with you. It seems, McNeese State, if Clemson would have showed up in the first half, let's be real, they hung. Yeah. Let's not forget, Clemson did hang 54 on them in the second half. Arkansas and St. John's, this is an intriguing one. This one's an early game, 2:40 Eastern time. It's just the thing with March Madness. The games are already just one at a time, like all the way through. So the madness is over. Yeah. Arkansas and St. John's at 2:40. It's true, Cam. You got 12:10, 2:40, 5:15. Like the games aren't even on at the same time anymore. Well, it's one game just all day. It sucks.
You and Tony are on the West Coast. It's 9:27 your time, and we're already done with Liberty and Oregon, and it was a stinker. So why don't you guys figure out a way to stagger the games a little bit differently? It's not rocket science there, ladies and gentlemen. Like you have a night card. Just think about it. Like you still have a late game for people who are betting on the West Coast. It's ending too early for you guys, in my opinion. I would run it a little bit later. That's just me.
I'm not worried about it. It's not ending too early. I mean, the last game is starting. The last game is going to start at like 7:00 Pacific time, 10:00 Eastern. So it's not the late start time for me. It's March, the NCAA tournament. The whole magic of it is that there's multiple games going on at once. Not that they're stretched out one game individually at a time, right? I mean, in the old days, it wouldn't be like one game at 12, one game at 3, one game at 5:30. There would be no. There's 2 games going on, or whatever, like multiple games. They just want to milk it like all day long now, and I get it, but you can still milk it all day long. But you could have multiple games on. Even Thursday and Friday, the schedule is too stretched out as it is. Like you lose the craziness, Tony, of like, remember in the old days, it's like, man, it's overwhelming. There's 4 games, 6 games going on, and like they're cutting in and out. Now it's like it's drawn out. All right, we'll start this game right after that game ends, and the other one. You don't have the same madness feel anymore. Like tomorrow, there's less games on tomorrow than there would be on a typical Saturday, Tony. You know what I mean? Like there's not even going to be multiple games on at once ever tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. It's dumb.
The craziness that we experienced too was that we didn't have the same, now we got 10 different networks covering every game, where we had 2 networks maybe trying to squeeze them in, flashing in and out. Long story short is, it's not as crazy, not as much fun either.
I guess I'm just in a bad mood because we didn't win. I wouldn't care about what time the games were at if I won.
Hey, you're nitpicking the networks now. If we won our bets, everything's great. March Madness is fantastic.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, I don't care what time the game starts. Fine with me. And now I'm like, these idiots. Bunch of idiots.
two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They are a street ball team. They remind me of an and one team, right?
Yeah.
They are street ball fast, park fast, playing in the hood. They are no joke, McNeese.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. They won 27 games as well for a reason.
It's a bracket. You trust the team to make a run. Feels good until it doesn't. And that's didn't feel good for all that long, Kansas.
Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that room. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I'm Morency. We'll be with you until 1 a.m. Eastern time. So Thursday and Friday are done. We're in. We got some big-time matchups and some interesting games, some tough bets on the board. Nothing's really, I look at these games, and I am a little shell-shocked after being on the wrong side. Right side yesterday, wrong side today. It's been my history with a tournament. I always start off strong, and by Friday night, I'm pissed off. Here we are right now. So whatever. I'm looking at the first game up, and I don't love Purdue here, and I don't love McNeese State. I don't love the total either. Next game up is Arkansas and St. John's. Fun game to watch. What do you think about from betting on it, Tony? It's a lot of points, 7.5. And I threw it out there earlier. St. John's beats you. A lot of teams they beat because they outwork you. They, they got athletic dudes, but they die for loose balls. They're going to crash the boards. They're well coached. Oh, yeah, that's like everything that Arkansas does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like St. John's sort of out-athletic a lot of teams. Like they literally jump over you over the back, and they rip the ball from you, and they're super aggressive, but that's what Calipari's doing. And you could argue, and I don't know, it's not an argument, it's just a fact. Arkansas are better. St. John's offense can, at times, they're not a very good shooting team, Tony, St. John's, right? They get second chance points. They will themselves to victory. And, you're getting 7.5 with a Calipari coach team here. They got nothing to lose, and that's one thing, too, guys, to pay attention to coaches talking. I saw Calipari talking earlier in the week about, you could tell. He was playing with house money. No one thought Arkansas was going to be good this year. He says, I told my kids just to go out there and be super aggressive and have fun. Because, you don't get a lot of cracks at this tournament. So he said, whatever happens, just lay it all out on the line. And we saw that today, yesterday with them. They're not a perfect team, Tony, but they will work hard. What do you think about this, getting 7.5 against St. John's?
Well, I think that's a lot of points. I think it's a lot of points considering the minor metrics on St. John's, and you're spot on. This is a team that's really athletic. If you watch that game that they played in the round of 64, they did what they did all season. They're really good in the second half. They're very aggressive defensively, and a lot of their second chance points come off steals and offensive rebounds. It's a big percentage of their point total at the end of the game. Arkansas doesn't do a real good job offensive rebounding. They're not going to but they do defend their glass pretty well. So I think this is a good matchup. They don't turn the ball over a bunch, Arkansas, and St. John's depends on those three things. So Calipari, Pitino, a lot of fun, a lot of things to talk about in this game. But even Calipari and Bill Self, last time those two were in the tournament together, we know that that Kansas made a miraculous Mario Chalmers, hit that 3-pointer, went to overtime. The rest is history. But give me Arkansas plus 7.5.
I don't know why you dropped to Mario Chalmers. That was like 20 years ago, Tony.
I don't know.
Well, I was talking about the coaching matchup. The coaching matchup. Bill Self Calipari was
no, but you're
Kansas
right.
and Arkansas. Yeah.
No, but you're right about the coaching matchup. But I'm glad you brought it up. Actually, I'll kid aside, Tony. Just busting your balls, but Mario Chalmers played for them a long time ago. I mean, he's played so long ago. He was the one that actually, the last teammate to call LeBron James out courtside, right? And I actually saw the video again the other day when on the Miami Heat when he told LeBron, "You're the best player in the league. Start playing like and stop acting like a bitch." Right? He told him he's yelling at him, and he's like, people are, and even after. I think recently, too, Mario Chalmers like, nah, LeBron's not the greatest player ever. And, people are like, wow, you play with him? But anyways, I'm glad you brought it up with Bill Self because one thing that did, and Calipari definitely saw this, if I'm dumb enough, and I'm even bringing it up right now, that good call, Tony. Arkansas was rolling Kansas. And what happened in the second half? Because Kansas hit some shots, but what happened? They threw a zone at St. John, at Arkansas. They threw the zone at them. And Arkansas were freaking clueless, they were lost. And who was the announcer? I think it was Pete Gillum. Pete Gillum, was getting mad during the broadcast, and he was right. And he's like, guys, you can't take the ball in 1 against 5 players in this zone. And the thing is, with Arkansas guys, they're not a good 3-point shooting team. They'll take them, but they're not great at it. And they're not smart enough to figure out the zone. And Calipari even admitted it after. When he goes, man, I got to figure out. He goes, clearly I have not taught them how to, deal with a zone well enough. And he goes, but I don't care because we won. It's like, yeah, well, I'm now going to see if St. John throws this at you. So I'm just going to say this one's dangerous here. St. John's are better. Let's not kid ourselves. They are better than Arkansas, but it is some point forward there. All right, my Michigan Wolverines, Tony, you're buying or selling against Texas A&M tomorrow?
Well, I'm selling. I'm going to sell. I've since the last 3 games in the Big Ten in conference play, not the tournament, but the conference play. I think they've been semi-exposed all season. This team's not a very good shooting team. In fact, among Power 6 conference teams, in weighted metrics, they're the worst shooting team in Power 6 conference. So. They really, when they're shooting the ball well and when they're getting some points in the paint and spreading the floor, they can be really good. But I'm going to take Texas A&M. I'm going to take Texas A&M. This game, in fact, this may be one of the games I like the most tomorrow. While we're talking about
one of the games he likes the most, the Texas A&M Aggies.
Trust. He's Tony's back, Gabe. Yeah, he likes to be on the other side there. Love it. It's one of his favorite games.
No, I understand it. You know what, though? Michigan are like a baseball team that have bad metrics, but win 1-run games all the time, Tony. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're right. If you look at Michigan's numbers, they don't offensively. They're kind of efficient offensively at times from inside the arc, but overall, they're not a good shooting team. They don't have any real sharpshooters on their team, but they still shoot the 3 anyways too much. They turn the ball over too much. I get it. They have flaws, but on the plus side, they're scrappy as hell. They have a ton of heart. They've won 13 games by 4 points or less this year, which is an NCAA record. They're battle-tested. They have 2 7-footers. They have a coach that's been in the Final Four before, and they're going to be in a close game. So, as a Michigan fan, I know, to me tomorrow, I'm like, whatever, dude. It's going to be, 64-64 or whatever with a minute left, and it'll go one way or the other, I think. That's just my take. Drake and Texas Tech. Drake are getting 6.5 now, Finn. Any opinion on this one?
Not really. I'm telling right now that Drake is a team that I've made some money on Drake this year, but I was very selective with them and who they played. they're a team that if they're getting some physical, tough defense in front of them and forced to take elbow jumpers from 15 feet, you're going to beat them. They're just not that good offensively. They played in a conference that's fairly soft in Missouri Valley, and listen. This is a well-coached team. We all know a lot about this Division II coach that won 4 national championships in the last half decade, whatever it might be.
Northwest Missouri State.
Exactly right. But this is a different, Division I. Well, we don't really know how he's going to be able to recruit. We don't know if he's going to stay there. And I mean, he may get some offers. Well, they go 31-3, whatever.
Well, he doesn't have to recruit. He just has to cover the point spread tomorrow. I don't care.
I'm talking about. I'm drifting a little bit.
I'm not worried about the recruiting class next year.
The thing is, though, to you guys' point, though, I agree with what Tony says. The problem is Missouri is a lot softer than A&M, and that was a good matchup for Drake. And Missouri got frustrated big time with the things that Drake did defensively. On the other hand, Texas A&M could want to turn this into like a jail yard fight, and that's kind of Drake's style, and that's not good. Oh, sorry, Texas Tech. That's what I meant to say. And they can pound the glass, too. That's the thing. Yeah, you're playing A&M. So, yeah, Tony brings up good points, Gabe. I'm going to take Drake, but I'm scared with this matchup. Like, it's not their best optimum matchup against these guys. That's for sure.
I think all these games are tough tomorrow. But, although they can. So can Michigan, though, Tony. Michigan, you can't deny that. Michigan are very good defensively.
They are.
And I think Michigan have the better coach.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They are a street ball team. They remind me of an and one team, right?
Yeah.
They are street ball fast, park fast, playing in the hood. They are no joke, McNeese.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. They won 27 games as well for a reason.
It's a bracket. You trust the team to make a run. Feels good until it doesn't. And that's didn't feel good for all that long. Kansas.
Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. We're looking at Saturdays, and we'll get to Sunday's games as well. I was talking about Tonji earlier of the Wisconsin Badgers, and, you know, he struggled big time. He had a terrible game against Michigan. One of the reasons why Michigan beat him. I don't know, it was part Michigan, part he was just off in the Big Ten championship game. I think he scored like 2 points, 1 point, 3 points or so. It was like, I remember he was scoreless until late. It was one of those weird games for him. I think he scored 15 the other night. I feel it tomorrow against BYU. He's going to score tomorrow. You know, nothing's really jumping off the screen at me yet too much here, but this does. like John Tonji tomorrow, over 20.5 points. I think he's going to go off against BYU. This should be a fun game. It's been an under-palooza, Tony, over the last 24 hours or so here. You got a total of 155 here against BYU. They're very similar teams, actually, in how they play. But I think Wisconsin are better defensively. I think they're more well-rounded. I like the fact that I think that Wisconsin can, pardon the pun, they can badger I think BYU are going to turn the ball over against them. Like, BYU are big, but I think they got some ball handling issues. I just think Wisconsin will wear them out a little bit. And, I'm not an odds maker, but I'm surprised that it's not like Wisconsin -3. I guess that's what I'm saying. The Big Ten not getting much respect here, are they? A 3 seed from the Big Ten, Tony, is a -1 point favorite against BYU. I like the Badgers.
Much of that has its recency bias, but BYU's been really, they beat a Kansas State team, if you remember a month ago or so, when Kansas State had just beaten 4 ranked teams and were playing some of the best basketball in college, some of the best ball.
Yeah, but let's not forget, guys, everybody was picking VCU a couple of days ago to beat BYU.
Yep, that's right. They're playing really well, but listen, you mentioned size. I really think BYU has a disadvantage inside in the paint against the Badgers. And if they don't hit their threes, this is nice. This is lights out probably early on. I like Wisconsin in this game. I like the over in this game because I think they're both going to score. I think BYU is going to they're going to get themselves easy buckets from the 3-point line, unguarded. And Wisconsin, listen, Wisconsin can score the basketball. They haven't been that really good away from home, but they can still score. I like the total over in this game, and I probably I haven't bet the side, but I'll probably be on Wisconsin.
Gabe, your point is, and you brought up a really good point earlier, you could have made this line Wisconsin 3, and I'm on the Badgers. Like, it seems very light, actually. Like, I'm looking at it going, Wisconsin, like, look at their full body of work. BYU's been fantastic, but they had low. Like, the Badgers, in my opinion, other than a breakdown against Michigan late in the Big Ten championship game, they're a great basketball team. Like, this, I think this is my top play tomorrow. I think Wisconsin, like, slaps these guys around, wins this game by, like, 10 to 12 points.
Listen, as far as offensive efficiency goes, Wisconsin is really good, efficient-wise, offensively. So is BYU, and this should be a high-scoring game. It really should be, and maybe one of the. Whiskey's got a deep bench too, so I think they're going to. Run a little bit. They're going to play in transition, try to tire BYU up. Big guys for BYU, and I expect to see a lot of shots from the outside, be wide open, hit them, and we go over the total.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of 3-point shots made, and a good thing about this, at least these teams can hit them, unlike some of the scrub teams that we saw today. Something to consider. Well, it's true. Something to consider. Like, now we're coming into the second round. Less scrub teams now, right? These are real teams playing suddenly here. Not the Liberties of the world, and the other teams are going to get stuck at 40 and 50 points.
Is it outrageous
Edwardsville
that the winner of this game scores 90 or more? I just think that's
Tony.
Yes,
that's hardcore.
I do.
90.
Yep.
All right, Tony. Yeah. What do you think of UCLA and Tennessee? We'll get to Gonzaga and Houston, but UCLA and Tennessee, Cronin versus Barnes. A lot of interesting coaching matchups tomorrow. A lot of veteran coaches that have been around. So you got Cronin versus Barnes here. UCLA kind of want to play what Tennessee does, but Tennessee have more athletes to do it. Right, that's the way I look at this. And I respect UCLA. I was on UCLA against Utah State, but you're not playing Utah State now. This is I think people are sleeping on Tennessee because of their anti-Rick Barnes bias. But with Shazier and Lanier, they got 2 dudes that can score. They got a bunch of athletes flying around. They're relentless defensively. They rebound the ball. It's not a ton of points. It was a tall task asking them to win by 18, and they won by 17 or whatever. Now it's only 5. Like, I wish it was 3, but it's 5. But I'm going with the Vols in this game here. I respect the Vols enough. I think it's end of the line for UCLA.
Tennessee's better. They're better offensively, much more athletic. This is really a pretty good shooting Tennessee team. They're not a horrible team from the free throw line. They're better offensively. They're better defensively. And when Tennessee plays somebody that's not dynamic offensively, they win. They just win. This is a team that held Gonzaga to 65
That's what
points.
I'm saying. It's like a style. Like UCLA do what Tennessee already does, but we're better at it.
Absolutely right.
It's like a football team that it's like, we're the mini version of you. Like, you know.
But they can't. They're not as good offensively either. They just aren't. They're just not dynamic. This is not a team that's going to score. UCLA is not a team that can score 80. Tennessee, right circumstances, not necessarily against UCLA, but they're much more athletic, as you mentioned. I agree with you 100%. I like Tennessee. I think this is a good spot for them.
I think you're on your own on this one, Cam, with UCLA.
Cam and the Bruins, baby, and
not getting enough.
To the Bruins.
Like if they were getting 9 or something, if they were getting 9.5, I'd be like, yeah, you're all right. It's but like 5, you see these 5 points. I've lost today is like, look, we had 6 with Oklahoma today.
5,
guys. 5 in basketball is like a field goal, right, Tony? You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's like it scares you off, like, oh, it's 5, but really. Teams are up by 3 or 4 late. Then you play the free throw game, and next thing you know, you're like, "Oh man, I should have laid the 5 instead of just."
I just have a lot of respect for the UCLA program, Gabe, when it comes to March Madness, and they've proven it year after year after year. I'm not going to deny.
They're a better tournament team than regular season team.
Yes, that's the thing. Like they bring their A game for the tournament. Like that's what they do.
They do. They are a good tournament team, and they have good players. They're a good team. But Tennessee are a great team, I think. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think UCLA are really, really good. They're good. And honestly, off the top of my head, I think UCLA are now 12-3, actually, straight up in their last 15 games. So, like, they are winning games. And we're not dismissing. There's a reason why they're only 5-point underdogs against Tennessee. But I just think Tennessee are that good. And I don't think UCLA, like Tony said, they're going to get beaten on the glass. They're not going to, they're going to have a hard time scoring UCLA, too.
It's going to be a really good game.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They are a street ball team. They remind me of an and one team, right?
Yeah.
They are street ball fast, park fast, playing in the hood. They are no joke, McNeese.
Yeah.
They can beat anybody. Well, they won 27 games as well for a reason.
It's a bracket. You trust the team to make a run. Feels good until it doesn't. And that's didn't feel good for all that long. Kansas.
Only on SportsGrid. That magical time of the year when everyone suddenly becomes a basketball expert. Highlight watching, mascot picking, bracket stressing. Sound familiar? Skip the guesswork with Bracket Central. Real expert picks, trusted analysis, and zero stress. Because choosing teams by mascot cuteness isn't exactly a winning strategy. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that room. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, we've been with you. We got a 3-hour show tonight, but we're up against it already, so we'll pick up the pace. Tony, Gonzaga, Houston, This is a good one. This is a really good one tomorrow. I like this Gonzaga team a lot. I said it earlier. How the hell can you be ranked 7th in the Ken Palm rankings and be an 8 seed in the tournament? But whatever. And even St. Mary's guys, they're a 7 seed. Like no respect at all for the West Coast Conference from the committee. And Gonzaga and St. Mary's both win against SEC teams at that. So, and here we go. Now we got Houston, who's taking over the Big 12. Another 5-point spread, guys. And as much as I respect Gonzaga, it's only 5 here. I think Houston are going to wear them down. Houston are just like, they're the Grim Reaper, bro. I think Houston can win it all. I got Houston in my bracket winning it all, even though I think Duke's really going to win. But what do you think about Gonzaga and Houston? Quickly, Tony, and we'll get a couple of Sunday picks on the way out.
I'm loaded up. I'm loaded on Houston to win the tournament, to make the Final Four, the Grade 8. Yeah, everything.
We know you're loaded. It goes outside.
We know you're loaded.
Loaded up on the Houston Cougars. I'm kidding.
I set the load off to the right until after the show tonight. But
we appreciate that.
I like Houston.
We appreciate that.
I like Houston, and I think listen, I'm with you on this. I had this line at 9. I tell you, Houston right now is, as you just mentioned, the Grim Reaper. They are a dog, a hungry dog, and this is Calvin Sampson's best team since he's arrived in Houston. Not like he's been there forever, but these guys love him. They love playing for him, and they're going to test Gonzaga early. What Sampson does is he tests the officials. He tells his guys, if you'll notice, he'll get out there, and those guys will commit. Sometimes they'll commit six fouls in the first 2 minutes, and you think your opponent's going to be in the bonus, from the rest of the half, and they'll back off. They play tough defense still without fouling. They can do almost anything to do, and this is a better offensive team than he's ever had as far as his weapons goes, depth there, the three-point shooting, the points in the paint. I like Houston, and I like Houston by double digits.
Gonzaga are a lot of things. They're really, really good in offensive metrics and all this stuff, and they're a great offensive team. But one thing they're not like you can bully them a little bit. And this is what's going to happen here. Like you said, Tony, like they're running into like a prison yard team. Like this Gonzaga are coming from like the Spokane Y, Cam. You know what I mean? And now they're going into cell block D to play the Houston Cougars. It's like,
Spokane Y.
Yeah. We're the Spokane YMCA champs from Spokane. How you doing? It's like Houston Cougars are just like bad bleeding from past scars still. Like,
you're right.
You know what I mean? From past disappointments, thinking we're going to, can't wait for that one. All right. I like Duke, guys. Generally, you see I'm getting suckered by the underdogs, but I like Duke. I think the favorites start to step up. Houston minus the 5. I like Tennessee minus the 5. Give me Duke minus the 12. And quickly, Tony, what do you think about St. Mary's and Alabama? Speaking of the West Coast Conference, they get St. Mary's against the SEC here again. Alabama 5.5, another 5.5. Too high or too low for Bama, in your opinion? I think Bama rolls St. Mary's.
Listen. If Bama hits their if they can hit 35% of the 3-point shots, that's all they have to hit. They're going to roll St. Mary's. If they don't hit that 3-point shot, we've seen a lot of clunkers from Bama. Now, that not recently or not lately, Florida too. These teams that play like those two teams play, up and down the court, can shoot the ball, do a good job on the offensive boards. They gamble. Actually, they surrender. They'll surrender fast break points because they think they can out-rebound their opponent. They're quicker. They're better offensively, dynamic. But Alabama has some soft spots, and if they get behind St. Mary's, then it's a whole different story. If Bama gets ahead, I think it's a game-set match.
All right, Cam, before we get out of here, I'm looking right now. JT Miller takes on the Vancouver Canucks tomorrow afternoon. He's plus 225 to score a goal. I'm going to take the Vancouver Canucks to win this game, and I'm going to say that Pettersson scores on the road to beat them. Big goal for Pettersson. Pettersson's plus 260. Although, I tell you what, I got no beef with JT Miller, whatever. I don't know him personally. I say JT Miller does score tomorrow. JT Miller scores plus 225. Pettersson scores plus 260, but the Vancouver Canucks win as underdogs. Cam, you got a best bet for us tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'm going to take a shot with the Wisconsin Badgers in my top basketball play. I also like the Vancouver Canucks, and if you're looking for a crazy underdog in golf, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, 3 words, 125 to 1. Watch out for the team.
Well, other than that, you're on your own later.